Hey guys. Yeah. Welcome to the Yacht Club.
Based in Houston, Texas.
We're in Houston, Texas. We're a couple, more than a couple. We're like 4 to 5 weeks out from Halloween. So we're carving pumpkins today. I finished my pumpkin. I call him Raja.
Bye.
Because I left a little hole up here for like jewels, actual jewels, rubies, or unicorn horns.
I thought you meant JUUL, like the pen that you say.
Oh yeah, that too could be stuck in here and smoked. Tell us about your mood today, DeSanti. How you feeling?
Feeling really off, and I 100% think it's because of the nicotine.
Because of the nicotine in the JUUL.
Yeah.
Okay, so bring this here. So she's under the assumption that the nicotine in the JUUL has her moody, has her mind kind of in like a depressed state or anxious state, and I do not believe it because I JUUL every single day.
Well, yeah, but you're used to it. I'm not.
Yeah, but okay, so she's been JUULing okay, so you've been taking in nicotine, let's say, for the last
Like
8 days.
Yeah.
Yeah. So why would it be affecting you just now is my point.
No, but I think it's been affecting me this whole time. Like on my trip to California, Brooke kept telling me, like, you're being so negative right now because I was being super moody. And I Googled it. So that's how I know. Because nicotine does have a direct correlation with your mood.
So this is an 8-day thing you're saying. Every single day it happens to you.
Every single day I've been grouchy. Every single day I've just been like super off and down and like up and down mood swings because I'm usually not used to taking any sort of other chemical other than like my food and like my supplements. And so this, I think, is really getting to me and I'm really feeling it. And I feel like everything that I intake I can feel right away because I eat very cleanly or like sleep well, stuff like that. It could also be sleep deprivation. But yeah, and you know what's cool is that we're actually talking about this because even though we do have like the Lampoons, which is solely based on like e-cig sales, but just the fact that we're talking about this I think is very cool and real because, you know, we're not ignoring that part of it. And I think if we were fake, then he wouldn't have asked me this question on camera. So yeah, we're pretty real.
All right, you dove a little deep there. Okay, yet about 5 minutes ago, she wanted to hit my JUUL again too.
Because it is addicting. And I recognize that it is coming from a place of being habitually, consistently intaking it. I could have just said addicted, but for some reason I had to find other words.
I feel like the cause of anxiety, not just talking about you, but in general, cause of anxiety or depression is usually because of a list of multiple things. And I feel like people, based on my own experience, tend to pick out one thing and try to put the blame on it. I honestly don't think it's the JUUL. I think the JUUL could play a small role in it if this was like you just started JUULing like 2 or 3 days ago. But the fact that it's been 8 days now.
I've been like this, like antsy and angsty for 8 days. Feeling like something is wrong.
But you also went to California. You partied all weekend. And you're sleep deprived, and then you've still worked full hour, like whatever, like your full week of work, Monday through Friday. So.
But I should be recovered by now. And I'm not.
Yeah, but you also said you're deprived of sleep.
Yeah.
And you said you haven't been eating as healthy as you used, or you're not getting as many meals in right now, so you're depriving yourself of nutrition right now. Right?
I mean, yeah, but it does have a lot to do with my mood. I feel like my mood.
I'm not doubting that the JUUL is a piece of it, but I don't think it's fair to say that it's just the nicotine that's doing it.
I don't think it's only the nicotine either, though. Like, I know I haven't been sleeping because I actually think sleep is the number one cause of this mood that I'm in.
Okay, so I win the argument.
Okay, so you win the argument. But the nicotine is a big part of it. It's a huge part of it. I think, because it is highly addictive.
I agree. I am very addicted to nicotine, and I recognize that. I've been addicted to nicotine for 3 years, but I got off of the traditional cigarettes thanks to the JUUL and all these e-cigs now. But yeah, definitely. Like, I'm running out of my pod juice right now, and I'm already anxious about that. Not anxious of the fact that I'm smoking it, but I'm anxious about the fact that I'm almost out. How do you, since we touched on e-cigs, how do you feel alcohol affects the human body and mind? After like
Horrible.
Okay, so
It's literal poison.
So why do people consume it?
Because they value that time that they're spending drinking more than the backlash that they have from it afterwards. That's why I only drink on very special occasions. But obviously, people get hungover, people get dehydrated from alcohol, people make bad decisions. There's all sort of bad things that go into it. But just that one couple hours of a good time to them is worth it more than the backlash that they have to deal with before. So it makes sense that someone would choose to drink every weekend if that couple hours is more valuable to them having a good time versus the recovery time, which for me is not the case, but I understand how someone would feel like that time was spent better than the other time, not than the rest of the time. So I understand that logic, and that is exactly why people choose to drink versus knowing that it has bad effects on them.
Well, I don't consume alcohol. I don't partake in any drugs. I solely rely on caffeine and nicotine on a daily basis too. But I used to struggle with alcohol. I used to struggle with drug addiction at one point in life, a little over 3 years ago. And I feel like, kind of like what you said too, I didn't even have the awareness to realize that there was a backlash for our bodies for partaking in, like sleep deprivation, malnutrition, and then substance abuse. I just looked at all these things as whatever. I'm young and I'm having fun, and whenever my body was going through something, I would just use something else to mask that feeling and just keep the run going. That ended up in bad situations to where I eventually had to stop doing everything. I've never been more productive in my life now. I still go through mood swings like you're talking about too, but I know it doesn't have anything to do with nicotine or alcohol or sleep. It's just, as a human being, humans are just never satisfied. Some sort of dopamine satisfaction, approval, I don't know what it is, but the lack of those things can also cause anxiety and depression. Not being as productive as you'd like to be can cause depression.
But how do you feel knowing that if you were to go a day without nicotine or caffeine, how do you feel knowing that that would be a horrible day to deal with?
I wouldn't look at it as it's going to be a horrible day. I wouldn't want to say that, put that into the universe, but I do understand that, like, today, actually I have had coffee, but like yesterday, no, I had, but there's been days where, like, I'll wake up and I'm just like, I don't want to go get an energy drink today, but I'm still hitting my JUUL. I haven't ran into a day to where, hey, I'm just going to not do anything today because I don't feel the need for it. There's still always room for evolution in a human being. So, like, I know I'm not at the point to where, like, I want to be. But I don't see anything wrong with vapes, honestly. I really don't. I'm all pro vape, like 100%. If you're going to do anything, I would recommend doing that. If you're not doing anything, then don't do anything at all. It's not like you should get into vaping if you're not already a smoker or a user of some sort. Alcohol is something I don't think I'd ever go back to. Everything else is up in the air. As of right now, I am highly motivated in my life, but I do go through days when I don't get some sort of satisfaction or appreciation. Like yesterday when you got home, I was in like a crazy mood because like my video started trending again on TikTok, and like something that small can change your mood in like exponential ways, which is honestly, social media has been around long enough for like science or professionals to be able to state whether it's like a real addiction or has harm, can cause harm, you know?
It's just the dopamine.
So like that's what I'm saying though. Is it a healthy thing or is it not? Like I can't this whole social media thing I can't determine because there's so many people that are like, oh, it's ruining the culture, the kids.
It's not the culture's fault. I think it's like personally whenever I notice I'm habitually reaching for my phone, that's when I know that it's a problem. But if you're just on it for, you know what purpose you're on it for, and if you're on there for not the purpose of like growing, like when you notice that it's a habit that you are craving for, then I think that's when it's an issue.
Mm-hmm.
But you can catch that for yourself. I don't think we need to blame social media or anything, because in reality, like, who is social media? We are social media. And so that's not really something, like, we shouldn't put the blame on that. Mm-hmm. Just how you said I shouldn't put the blame on the JUUL, like, it's all I chose to smoke the JUUL the whole week.
If you think about it, it's your mind that pretty much gets you through your day. So it's like whether I had 100,000 views on TikTok or I didn't, I'm still going through the same day, the same time frame, but it's just some sort of satisfaction in your mind that makes the day better or worse, which is kind of stupid. It's like, I don't know if you guys have like followed Jim Carrey a lot, but like he's come out of his shell in the last 3 years, and he clearly talks about how he pulled himself out of his body, looked at himself, and realized who is aware of the thoughts going on in his mind, like who watches the thoughts going on in his mind. And right, and it's like, if you think about it, it's like you literally are the only person in control. So like, why shouldn't you try to meditate, master your brain and then your thought process? Because imagine how good every freaking day could be for you.
Separating yourself out of your brain makes everything a little bit less significant, because now you're not worried about anything. You're kind of just observing and not reacting. So not giving everything a reaction. Thank you guys so much for clicking on this video, and remember, we're from Houston, Texas, the Yacht Club. We're going to be talking about different stuff that people like to talk about. No, hold on.
Nishu, if you want to look at the camera while we do this.
Yeah, if you want to just look at the camera, that'll be fine. Again, thank you so much for watching. Catch us on the next episode of the Yacht Club here on the YouTube channel.
Straight from HTX.
Follow our Instagram at the Yacht Club podcast.
And I know it's a growing podcast, but if you could do us a favor and drop a comment and just give us honest feedback, how we were, what you would like to hear, it would be appreciated.
Yeah, we don't get offended easily, so go ahead and.
You make fun of my baby though, I'm gonna find you.